3 months after India's missiles struck deep inside Pakistani territory in what became known as Operation Sindoor, Pakistan did something that told India everything it needed to know. It panicked and then restructured its entire military. According to India's Chief of Integrated Staff, Air Marshal Ashutosh Dixit, India will not be dealing with the same Pakistan going ahead. We are not dealing with the same Pakistan we managed for the past 3 decades, he warned. The deterrence dynamics have become more complex.
We are not dealing with the same Pakistan we managed for the past 3 decades. The deterrence dynamics have become more complex, and India's responses must be calibrated accordingly.
Operation Sindoor, the May 2025 Indian military operation, did more than strike targets. According to Air Marshal Dixit, it cracked open something Pakistan had kept carefully hidden: the gap between its nuclear bluster and its actual conventional capability. Pakistan could not use its missiles effectively during Operation Sindoor, the Air Marshal said bluntly, either because of the threat of Indian retaliation or because of civilian control constraints. In plain terms, Pakistan blinked. And the consequences have been swift and revealing. In August 2025, just 3 months after the conflict, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif stood up before the nation on the eve of Pakistan's 78th Independence Day and announced the creation of an entirely new military structure, the Army Rocket Force Command, modeled directly on China's feared PLA rocket force. The symbolism was unmistakable.
In August 25, Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif announced the formation of the Army Rocket Force Command, the ARFC, modeled on China's People's Liberation Army Rocket Force. This was announced on the eve of Pakistan's 78th Independence Day, 3 months after the May 25 conflict, and it tells us something important. Pakistan could not use its missile effectively during Op Sindoor, either because of the threat of Indian retaliation or because of civilian control constraints. The ARFC is Pakistan's attempt to create a dedicated conventional deterrence layer, one that can strike Indian military targets deep inside our territory without crossing the nuclear threshold. This represents a doctrinal shift toward non-contact standoff warfare, towards what analysts call deterrence by punishment.
Then in November 2025 came something even more alarming. Pakistan's parliament passed its 27th constitutional amendment with what can be described as remarkable and troubling haste. The amendment abolished the post of Chairman Joint Chiefs of Staff, a coordinating position that had existed since 1976, and replaced it with a single Chief of Defence Forces. The Army Chief would automatically hold this post. The result? One man now controls the Army, Navy, Air Force, and Pakistan's nuclear arsenal. The haste of this restructuring, the centralization it represents, are themselves acknowledgements of the deficiencies exposed during the conflict, Dixit said. But Pakistan, in Dixit's telling, is only one piece of a far larger strategic puzzle, and it is not the one assembling it. That would be China. Beijing has, since the past few decades, transformed from a cautious regional player into an assertive expansionist power. China views India not as a partner but as a potential threat, a reality we can no longer afford to look away from, the military commander said. The evidence, as Dixit laid it out, is geographical and methodical. In September 2025, China held a grand military parade commemorating its World War II victory, a deliberate display of its growing military might. Its Fujian aircraft carrier became fully operational the same year. Beijing simultaneously deepened ties with Russia and expanded partnerships across the global south. The competition is real, the structural rivalry is real, the pressure on India will not ease, Dixit said. Despite the gravity of his assessment, Air Marshal Dixit was not without cause for cautious optimism. He pointed to Sri Lanka as proof of what India's approach, when executed well, can achieve. When Sri Lanka's economy collapsed under the weight of Chinese debt, foreign reserves gone, inflation soaring, a president fleeing, India stepped in with food, fuel, credit lines, and humanitarian support. Today, Sri Lanka is among India's closest regional partners. He credited Operation Sindoor itself as a strategic inflection point. It demonstrated beyond reasonable doubt that India has found space for effective conventional operations below the nuclear threshold. It changed the terms of the relationship in ways that will take years to fully unfold.